Our last topic of the day, guys, is going to be talking about Gears of War and the future of Gears of War with those announcements that came out with Rod Ferguson leaving the Coalition to move over to Blizzard to work on Diablo 4 and the Diablo franchise. It's really an unfortunate thing, guys, that Rod Ferguson left, the Coalition, because he was kind of the face of Gears of War. What I will say about it is this, where we're headed to now is a direction of, really not even a direction, like we don't really know where we're headed, right? We don't have a face now anymore of Gears of War. I think really what needs to happen, though, is that the Gears of War community, we really need to come together, and I think that we need to become the face of Gears of War until we get somebody to kind of replace Gears Viking, to replace Rod Ferguson. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been talking about Cliff Bleszinski coming back to Gears of War. I don't know if I really like the idea. I mean, I think it's an okay idea, but I almost would like to see somebody new come in. We saw what Cliff Bleszinski did, of course, with the first Gears of War games, and I thought that they were fantastic. But, I just think having someone kind of have like a new approach, not going away from Gears of War completely, but putting their handprint on the Gears of War titles in the future. Rod Ferguson already confirmed that Gears 6 and Gears 7, as well as a Gears of War movie, are all confirmed. So we're going to get a Gears 6 and a Gears 7 at some point, most likely. And Rod Ferguson even said, like, I trust what he trusts the Coalition. He says, I'm leaving it in very good hands, which, I mean, it's hard to say whether or not we're going to be able to fully believe him on that. Here's the positive thing, is that Rod Ferguson brought, as well as the Coalition, brought back Gears of War. And let's look at the games that they came out with. Gears of War Ultimate Edition, pretty good. Gears 4, or Gears of War 4. It was pretty good as well. I thought the multiplayer was fantastic. I thought that the campaign was, mediocre. It wasn't that great. And then Gears 5. They kind of elaborated on the multiplayer as well as the, campaign, especially where you had like semi-open world. The direction for Gears of War is going in a good direction, in my opinion. The Coalition is doing what they can. I think that obviously there's things that people want fixed about the game and stuff, but I think a lot of the community is, I think that the Gears community does complain a lot, and that does become a problem, and that's how it is with any community. The problem is, though, is that Gears of War doesn't have as big of a community as, say, that of Call of Duty and, Fortnite and such. So when there's a lot of people on one of those games that are complaining, it's not a big deal because there's so many other people that are really enjoying it. With Gears of War, when you have a lot of people complaining that are, within the community, since the community is not quite as big, it really does hurt the developers and such. So, look, it's unfortunate that Rod Ferguson's leaving. I would have liked to see Rod Ferguson kind of finish out what he was planning on starting, or, continuing with Gears 6 and Gears 7. I would have liked to see that. But at least he gave us 3 Gears titles. He was part of the reason why we got Gears of War back. So thank you so much, Rod, for that. We really appreciate you and appreciate what you did for Gears of War, bringing back this beloved franchise of ours. Because without Rod Ferguson, without the Coalition, we would have never gotten more Gears of War games. So we got them to thank for that, guys. Now, the big question is who's going to replace Rod Ferguson over at the Coalition to be the head of the, the director of operations over there, and the lead director on Gears 6, on Gears 7, and just even on Gears 5, like moving forward now. Who's going to be that guy? We need, we need somebody. I don't think it should, I don't know if it should be Cliff Bleszinski or somebody else. I feel like it should be somebody else to get somebody else's handprint. Somebody like, I would love to see like a Ken Levine, the director of like the BioShock games. That would be really sexy. Somebody like him coming to the Gears of War franchise. I'd like to see somebody new. Ultimately, I'd like to see somebody new come into the Coalition to take the helm and take us in, down more of that home stretch into Gears 6, Gears 7, and even, of course, with the Gears of War movie. But think about this. Not only did Rod Ferguson and the Coalition up to this point bring us the Ultimate Edition, Gears of War 4, and Gears 5, they also are bringing us Gears Tactics. They're also bringing us, they have Gears Pop. We've got all these different ways in which we're able to connect with this universe and this franchise, and it's incredible. It's a beautiful thing, guys. Rod Ferguson leaving is a blow to the Gears of War community. He's moving on to his next venture. He spent a lot of time on Gears of War. It'll always be a part of him. Now he wanted to try something new. Diablo is definitely down his alley, because think about it. Gears of War, has all these different, the Locust Horde, the creatures, all the different stuff, the creativity there. But Diablo kind of has that kind of stuff too. And it's a new, franchise to work on. And I think Rod Ferguson just wanted maybe a new challenge. I don't think, a lot of people are saying that Rod Ferguson was just abandoning ship. He wanted to jump on the sinking ship that was Gears of War. I 100% disagree with that. I think that Gears of War, they've put it's in a place where, sure, any game needs updated. Any game needs, additions or subtractions and things of that nature. Gears of War is in a solid spot, in my opinion. Rod Ferguson probably felt that way as well, moving onwards into the future. What it really comes down to, though, guys, is us as a community, we have to be supporting one another. I've said this multiple occasions, right? You got to be supporting your favorite streamers, your favorite content creators on YouTube. When it comes to create, when you have guys who are creating content around Gears of War, you have streamers who are streaming all the time on Gears of War. You got to support those guys. We got to be helping each other. If you love Gears of War, why not stream it? I believe, guys, that there is something special with Gears of War still. I mean, there really is. It's just up to us to continue pushing Gears of War to the masses and moving it forward. I think the complaining and the just the hate on the Coalition is not going to get us anywhere. It's not going to get us anywhere. It's only going to kind of just demotivate the developers, and Microsoft's going to be looking at that and saying, well, you know what? Maybe we should just hold off on a Gears 6, a Gears 7. Let's work on Halo. Let's work on some of these other titles. That is a real possibility, guys. Gear 6 and Gear 7 are confirmed at this point, but that could certainly change if Microsoft and Coalition look at it and say, look, I mean, why are we going to change something, or why are we going to continue something that people are just going to, hate on? Look, I believe that Gears of War is going to be fine moving forward, right? I think it's very undervalued. It's very underappreciated at this point. It's up to us as a community, however, to move Gears of War in the right direction. Whether that be streaming, content creation, whatever it is, we've got to be working together to push those things forward. And that's just my opinion, guys. And I would love to hear your opinion, though, on all of this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you believe in the direction Gears of War is headed in? Or are you concerned that it's going to be the end? Or have you left the Gears of War community completely? What are your thoughts on Rod Ferguson leaving the Coalition to go over to Blizzard? Let me know what you guys think. Let's have a real conversation about it.